What it do, guys? It's your girl Taylor here with Teen on TV Vlogs, aka the PITCHFORD family. I'm here with baby Gianna, really close by. I'm here to do a story time about the time I gave birth with her and how things have been going for me as a new mother. This video will probably be more raw than normal because I have my baby with me. I would normally try to put her down, but she's just been a little fussy today, to where the last 2 or 3 days she's been a little fussy, and every time I put her down she started crying. So it's so much easier for me to go ahead and film the video while I have her in my hands because she's probably more calm right now. So I just want you guys to know that as of today, Gianna is 5 weeks long, 5 weeks and today's 5 weeks and 4 days along. So she's growing really big, really fast. Time is flying by. But I just wanted to get on here and kind of give you guys an insight about how it's been for me. As you guys know, this is my first biological baby. You guys do know my husband has 2 kids prior to us being together, so I have 2 bonus children who I love very much. Just as if they were my own. And then we have her together. I really just want to get on here and kind of give y'all insight on how it's been being a new mother and adjusting here at home. Like I said, this video is probably going to be super raw because I'm sitting on the floor in my living room. Like, that's how raw it's going to be. And then you guys might hear my baby crying every so often. Hopefully she'll be quiet and calm since I'm holding her right now. So our first week, as you all know, she was born February 22nd at 3:15. Her original due date was February 24th. So we were 2 days out from her original due date. She decided she wanted to come on her own. We also had an induction date of February the 23rd at 7:30 in the morning, but she ended up coming early the day before. I went into labor overnight. It was about 12:30 when my contractions started, and I didn't end up giving birth to her until 3:15. So technically, I was in labor for about 18 hours, if I did my calculations right, 18 hours of labor. My first week home with Gianna was probably the hardest time with my entire time of having her. Was probably the first 2 weeks of her being home. One, because we were adjusting to the no sleep pattern, trying to nurse her every 2 to 3 hours, her sleeping 2 to 3 hours. Now she's at the point of sleeping 3.5 hours, so a little bit better at a time when she's comfortable. The things that I have noticed throughout these 4 weeks, the growing spurts. Nobody tells you about the growing spurts. So every week that she's been born, there's this thing called a growing spurt where they want to be more cuddly, they're more fussy, they want to be held. Nobody prepared me for that, okay? As some of you guys may know, I've been around children since about the age of 12 or 13. I am one of 5 kids on my mom's side, and I am actually the 4th child, so I have 3 older siblings. And between those 3 older siblings, I have a total of 8 nieces and nephews. I know that's a lot, but 8 nieces and nephews who I love so much. But nobody they prepare you. They tell you about how life will probably be more difficult, or life will be an adjustment. And honestly, adjustment is probably the best word you could use for it, because I've been around children. You know, I grew up around children. When I met my bonus children, my daughter was 3 and my son was 5. So for me, it was like, I felt like it would have been a lot easier for me because I've been around children my entire life. But in reality, when you have your own kid from your own womb, it's a complete different, it's an eye opener, you know. Gianna came in my life at, I would say, the best time of my life to come in my life. I got married last March, if nobody knew that. Hang on, poo-poo. I got married last March, and we had her this February. And so with that being said, we wasted no time to get pregnant, which, in all honesty, were we trying to get pregnant? No, but if it happened, we were okay with it happening. And it just kind of happened faster than we thought. Technically, she was wanted, you know? She was not an accident. I will never say that my baby was an accident. But Our first week, me and Dad, I had a lot of what they call the baby blues, because every parent every mother decides if they want to formula feed their baby or if they want to breastfeed their baby. Since I was a kid, always said that if I had, well, not a kid, but old enough to know. Since I was old enough to know, I've always said I wanted to breastfeed my baby because I always thought that we have breasts for a reason, So for me, it was just like a no-brainer. Like, I want to feed my baby if I have the option to feed my baby. Some mothers don't produce milk, and some mothers just choose not to breastfeed, which is okay. Your baby's fine either way, if you breastfeed or if you don't breastfeed. I just felt like for me that and then as I got older and then I did more research when I was pregnant with her, that it was the best option, and I felt like it was the best option for her is to be breastfed. So my first week of having her, you nurse her. She wanted to be clingy, and they also tell you, since I chose to breastfeed her, say hi, mama. Since I chose to breastfeed her, to not give her a pacifier until she was at least 3 weeks to 4 weeks along. So, you guys can only imagine how stressful it is. And for me, it's like, I've never had a baby, so I want to do everything that they tell me to do. I also want to make sure that I do what's best for her. So feeding for us for the first 2 weeks was kind of difficult. We ended up having 2 doctor's appointments because at one point I ended up having to supplement for a little bit because my breast milk hasn't come in yet. So my breast milk did not come in. So we ended up having to start supplementing before we left the hospital. And we left on a Wednesday. She had her first doctor's appointment that Friday. So they wanted to weight check her to make sure that she was weighing, she was at a decent weight. She was born 6 pounds, 6 ounces. And when we left the hospital, she was 6 pounds, 2.8 ounces, which means she lost a couple ounces. And then by the time we went back to the doctor, she had gained 1.5 ounces. So she was 6 pounds, 4 ounces, when we took her back to the hospital to the doctor, to supplement with the breastfeeding that I was doing. So he wanted us to continue to supplement because at that time my milk still hadn't come in yet. So we supplemented a little bit more until my milk came in, and luckily my milk ended up coming in, not back in. My milk ended up coming in, so then we ended up taking her to the doctor that next Thursday so they could do another weight check, hoping that I wasn't supplementing anymore. And I stopped supplementing because my milk came in, and she ended up weighing a little bit more. I can't even remember, you guys. She was 6 pounds. She was 7 pounds, 1 ounce by that next Thursday when we went back to the doctor. So she was growing, okay? She had no problems growing. My baby has no problems eating. She'll let you know when she's hungry, trust me. But that was probably the most difficult thing, is because I felt like sometimes especially with my milk not coming in, she wasn't getting enough. And they never tell you the amount of stress you are under with breastfeeding, because technically when you're breastfeeding your baby, you don't know how much milk that they're getting. You just go off of how they feel. So their feeding cues, when they're hungry, they'll show you, but they also show you when they're full. And so for me, that was my biggest thing. I don't know how much she's eating, so I don't know if she's hungry or not. When I would pump and give her a bottle, you obviously could see how much she was intaking at one time. But when she's breastfeeding, you just have to go off of how she feels. If she pushes the breast away, then that's a signal that she's done eating. If she falls asleep at the breast, that means she's full. Like, all those things that they really never teach you about, you learn. I had one of the best lactation nurses, I felt like, that was fit for me. My lactation nurse, I still talk to this day if I have any questions about feeding or nursing her. Like, the team that you have literally is probably, you try to get the best team that you could get for your child and your care. And I, by far, loved my lactation nurse, okay? She's the best. And still to this day, if I had a question, I can text her and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Can you help me figure this out? Blah, 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 blah. And it kind of benefits for me because every lactation nurse is not like that. But if you know me, you guys know I work healthcare. I've worked the baby unit before, so I kind of know all the nurses and all of the lactation nurses on that floor. So it kind of helped me because I knew I had a personal relationship with them. So when I had her, I knew no brainer I would have a good team. Week 3, we did great. Baby started sleeping more and doing so much better with resting. She's got, since you do breastfeed, they don't ever tell you that when you breastfeed, your baby is basically attached to your hip. The biggest thing that me and my husband had trouble with coming home was my baby not only being familiar with me. My husband, not saying that he's absent, but her adjusting to him because I carried her made it hard for her to adjust. And so we're now in week 5. They have a better connection than they had at week 2 or 3 because, he's here, he's active. He holds her. She's familiar with his voice. She was familiar with his voice to begin with because he used to talk to her all the time in my stomach. But it's different when you're outside the womb because your baby knows your heart, knows that you've always been comfort. You've been comfort for 9 months. So trying to adjust. And I never knew that prior to being pregnant, that your baby would have to adjust to your spouse. I literally thought since he talked to her, read her books and stuff while she was in my stomach, she would come out and she would be just fine with him. But that was adjustment for both of us because I never knew that. And on top of that, breastfed babies are more clean to their mother because they got the milk. They could smell the milk. Your baby literally smells the milk to identify who you are and knows your scent. And I did not know that. I didn't know that. So for me, that was like an eye opener because I'm like, I'm tired. Why does she always want me? Why won't, I love her to death, but I just wanted to take a nap and just be baby free for a little bit and let him have her for a while. And every time he would get her for a while, she would just cry because mom is home. So now that we're in week 5, he holds her, he plays with her. She makes noises with him, which is funny because she's only 5 weeks old. But last night, or was it the night before last, they was in the room and he was saying something, and I wish I had a clip of it. We tried to catch it, but we couldn't catch it. She was mocking like one of the noises he was making, and she did it like 3 times, and then she stopped doing it. But they have a great relationship now. So that in itself has been helpful because now I'm like, okay, here, take your daughter. You can have her. Let me go do this. Let me go pump. Let me go take a shower. Let me go to the bathroom or whatever the case may be. So with her being as little as she is, and as clingy as she is towards me, is because of breastfeeding, because we are literally the human pacifier for the first 3 weeks of their lives until you can get them a pacifier. And since we've been able to give her a pacifier, it's been easier because she can sit with her dad and have a pacifier in her mouth and be just fine. She chooses and decides when she wants a pacifier. If she does not want it, she will spit it out, which means she's probably hungry. That's just how it is, and she just lets you know what it is. As far as adjusting at home, I am still on maternity leave. I'll be on maternity leave for a couple more weeks. What people do not prepare you for is that people literally come see your baby or call you the first couple weeks the first week or 2 that you have your baby, and then you hear from nobody, which is crazy because, your whole pregnancy, people are like, oh yeah, they want to be auntie, uncle, they want to be involved, they can't wait for her to get here, and then when she gets here, don't really call and check on her. And I really thought that was like, I'm not saying people weren't telling the truth, but I really, how you think your people are different? They're not. They're just as human as everybody else who went through the same situation. I'm not saying everybody's perfect, and I don't expect people's lives to change because my life has changed. But that saying, when you have a baby, the first couple of weeks, people blow you up, and then after that, you don't hear from them. Week 5, the same people that was reaching out to me in week 1 or 2, I don't hear from them. And it's not so much to say that I am angry with them or upset with them or no longer want to be around them or whatever the case may be. It's just a life adjustment. And I'd rather for things to change now while she is so small as she is versus when she gets older and then question where these people are. So my family literally has been my biggest support system. I literally have family who have not seen my baby yet and still text me or call me every so often to check on her, and that is really something I truly appreciate. I have friends that's not even in Oklahoma that have texted me or contacted me to check on me and honestly check on my mental status, because what they don't tell you or prepare you for is the postpartum depression. They do tell you about it, but you don't really realize how bad it is until you go through it. And so my biggest support has been my family and my husband. And when I say that I have been truly blessed, and I keep looking away because I don't want to cry, but postpartum depression is something that people really don't take seriously. And I feel like when people have a new baby, it's okay to text. It's okay to call them, because if they don't answer, that means they sleep and they'll call you back as soon as they can. But just going MIA, thinking that that's what they need, no. I will be the first to say that I've needed friends. I've needed family for those days that I am feeling, not the best, because postpartum, when it hits you, it hits you. I'm doing a lot better, but it's been a road. It's been an adjustment. And so friends and family are much needed when a person has a baby. I don't care if you just text once a week. I don't care if you just text twice a week. Just letting them know that you love them and that you care about them and that you care about the baby that they had and their mental status, it makes a world of difference. But overall, I don't want to be sappy, but I have lost some friends, and I've lost, and that's something that I can't control. People are who they are. And your biggest support system are your biggest support system. People I didn't think they were going to check on me have checked on me literally every week. And I've just been very blessed. But I am going to cut this short because I feel like I'm just lagging at this point, continuously talking. If you guys have any personal questions about my pregnancy, about how it's been adjusting as a new mother, feel free to leave your comments down below. If you guys have me on social media, you can gladly message me or reach out to me. I am open to having conversation. I love for people to contact me, because then I feel like I'm not alone. But it's okay. Baby's trying to wake up. So I'm just gonna leave it off at there. I will say, if you're watching this video and you have somebody who's had a baby, or if you have somebody who is pregnant, please be that support system for them. Please love on them. Please don't make them feel like they're by themselves through the process, because mentally, physically, they may not feel like they're by themselves, but just remind them that they're not by themselves and that they're loved, and that it's not just about the baby at that point, but make sure mom's doing okay. Of course, if baby's fine, make sure mom's doing okay, and make sure that you guys are keeping in contact with it, because that makes a difference. And I will say, since I've been on maternity leave, having my friends check on me every so often, and sometimes just saying you love them, it won't hurt them. They will enjoy that, and they will appreciate that. Without further ado, I think that's the end of this video. But like I said, if you guys have any questions that you guys may have, just leave them down in the comment section below. Or if you have me on social media, don't be afraid to message me. I am a very open person, and I will be very open as I can. I'm a very outgoing person, and if there's something that you need to know or talk about or discuss, just let me know. I'm open to it. I'm not perfect. I can only go off of my experience. I'm not saying everybody's experience is the same as mine. But I've been truly blessed to have the support system that I do still have, and I'm very thankful for my beautiful daughter and for my beautiful husband and the family that we have with my 2 children. And if anybody has a question about that, I did not put this in here. Yes, my bonus children have been a part of her life. They have seen her, they have held her, they have loved on her, and they love her very, very much. And they will be here very soon to see her again, and her sister cannot wait to see her again. So, and her brother, he's 9, so he's in his own little world, but they love her, they adjust with her. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I still need to do my post notification shout out, and that goes to goes to OKTV from Canada. I think that is so dope that our videos have reached Canada. I think that's so cool. If you want a chance to win a post notification shout out, all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn those post notification bells on and comment down below when you've done that, and you will be in for our next post notification shout out. But without further ado, we love you and peace.